Hi, I'm Christine from naturalkitchenschool.com with a recipe for vegan asparagus soup. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this classic soup. It is so rich and satisfying, you would never guess it doesn't contain any dairy. My secret ingredient is coconut milk, which replaces heavy cream. Shh. The addition of cauliflower gives a lovely texture and flavor. No need to wait for spring. This recipe is perfect any time of the year when you want to enjoy an elegant soup. You know what you call an indecisive asparagus? An asparagus. So to make our soup, we're going to prep our vegetables. Remove the ends from 1.5 pounds of asparagus. How much is 1.5 pounds of asparagus? It really depends on the bunch. You'll have to weigh it at the market or if you have a scale at home, but it can be anywhere from 1 to 2 bunches depending on the size. In my case, it's 1.5 bunches. This will be about 1 inch or 2 of the woody bottoms that will be removed. If you bend a spear of the asparagus, wherever it snaps is the ideal place to trim it. Slice the trimmed asparagus into roughly 2-inch lengths. Now I'm going to dice 1 medium-sized onion. I'm also going to mince 2 cloves of garlic. Sometimes if your garlic has been around for a while, it might form a little green sprout in the center. You'll want to be sure to remove those, otherwise it can make your recipe taste bitter. So I'm going to carefully use the heel of my knife to take those out, and then I'm going to proceed to chop up my garlic nice and fine. To cut up cauliflower, I find that a paring knife or small pointed knife helps to really get inside of the cauliflower easily. And now I'm just going to cut the cauliflower into smaller florets. And you don't need to go too crazy with chopping it all up because we only need 1 cup of cauliflower florets for the soup. Fresh lemon juice is going to add a really nice flavor to our soup, so I'm juicing 1 lemon. I may not need quite all of that juice, but I want to have it on hand just in case. And the last of my veggie prep is chopping up a garnish. So I'm chopping some fresh parsley, but you could use scallions or chives if you like. This just adds a really nice little touch of freshness to your soup when you're serving it. Heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a large soup pot over medium heat. Or you can use a 1/4 cup of vegetable broth if you prefer instead of the oil. Add 1 diced onion. Cook and stir for 5 minutes. Add 2 cloves of minced garlic. Cook for a couple more minutes or until the onions are translucent. Add a little sea salt and pepper to help the onions soften. While I'm waiting for the onions to soften, I'm going to go ahead and prepare a saucepan with a little boiling water so that I can cook some asparagus tips. This will be used for the garnish for the soup. It looks really pretty. I'm just going to cook them for a few minutes just until they're bright green. And then remove them with a slotted spoon and cool them off under some cool running water. To the soup, we're going to go ahead and add the chopped asparagus and our cup of cauliflower. Cook and stir a few more minutes. Add 4 cups of vegetable broth and 1 cup of coconut milk. Regarding the type of coconut milk I like to use, I love this Native Forest brand Simple. You'll see in the ingredients, it's just coconut milk and coconut and filtered water, no guar gum. They say that guar gum is really hard on your digestive system, so I try to avoid products with added gums. This brand is also great. I get this from Amazon. It's the Arroy D coconut milk, and it really has a nice consistency. That's actually the one that I'm going to be using in the soup, and I love that it doesn't separate. And here too, our ingredients are literally just coconut milk, 100%. Bring to boil over medium-high heat. Then reduce the heat to simmer on low, lightly covered, for 20 minutes. So after the 20 minutes, the asparagus and cauliflower should be fork tender. Stir in the juice of half a lemon. Add sea salt and pepper to taste. Puree the soup using an immersion blender or regular blender. If using a regular blender, be careful when blending. Make sure to work in batches. Blend the soup until it's completely smooth. Adjust the seasoning to taste by adding a little more sea salt and pepper if you like, or a little more lemon. Now you could pass this through a fine mesh strainer if you want it extra silky smooth. Personally, I like to keep the fiber and enjoy the texture of the soup without straining it. Divide the soup equally among 4 bowls. Garnish each bowl with a drizzle of coconut cream. I'm using the Let's Do Organic Heavy Coconut Cream, and I just scoop off the cream from the top of a can. Usually I can get 4 or 5 scoops before I hit the watery part. And I'll save the rest of the can to use in a different recipe. Now for the fun part where you get to play with your food. Swirl through it with a skewer or chopstick to make a fun design. Comment below if you know what animal I was trying to make here. Add a couple pieces of steamed asparagus tips to each bowl, along with a slice of lemon and a pinch of chopped parsley. Let's find out what this tastes like. Look at that gorgeous texture. Just divine. A bowl of this would make any asparagus lover very happy. You never know, it might even win over people who think they don't like asparagus. It's no wonder that people have been growing asparagus since 3000 BC. I like to store leftover soup, if there is any, in a glass container. It keeps well in the refrigerator for up to 4 days. I'll post the recipe below this video so that you have all of the amounts. Thanks for watching and enjoy! You can just weigh it on these, oops,